Agriculture is something I found myself caring about more and more over the years. I don't know why. It's something I can't make myself not care about. It's like there's a magnet in me always leading me back to the growing of my food. Food connects us all. The enjoyment of food goes beyond any geographic location, language, or any other barriers that separate people. However, within the last 100 years, there's been a major shift in the way our food is grown, a shift that's changing the climate of our planet. So how big of a problem do we really have on our hands? Well, 24% of greenhouse gas emissions come from agriculture, forestry, and land use, just 1% less than electricity and heat production. That's a pretty big chunk. Agriculture, being tied to the environment, makes it especially vulnerable to the changes brought on by global climate change. If we continue on the way we have, warmer temperatures, while increasing growing seasons for some plants, will take away the chill hours needed to grow things like fruit and nuts. And aside from long-term effects, extreme weather events such as flooding and heat waves could devastate farmlands. In learning this, the question I had was, how did we get here? To figure this out, we need to look back to the 20th century. With the introduction of artificial fertilizers came a shift from the traditional method of growing food to a globalized agriculture industry, using massive amounts of fertilizers and pesticides, growing monocultures, and using confined animal feeding operations, all of which, in one way or another, contribute huge amounts of greenhouse gases. While this change was advertised as a solution to feeding our growing global population, it's lived short of its promise. We still have millions of people globally being affected by malnutrition, whether through being under or overweight. Because the growing of our food is tied to the land, we can't just apply this one-size-fits-all method of growing food. While agriculture is vulnerable to climate change, it could also be a powerful solution. Sustainable methods of farming can not only lower carbon emissions, but can also sequester tons of carbon as well, literally sucking it out of the atmosphere. The best part is, we already have the technology to do so. We've spent most of our history farming in ways that work with the land, not against it. There are tons of different methods of reducing our emissions, most of which boil down to having a farm be a functioning ecosystem. A good example of this is silvopasture, the practice of growing trees and grazing animals on the same land. Not only is this great for sequestering carbon, it can also be incredibly land efficient. But wait, you might say, I'm not even a farmer. How could I possibly make a difference? Well, to that I say, we're humans. The best way for us to do anything is use our incredible ability of being social. If we act together, we can accomplish more than we ever could on our own. Just as food connects us all as people, so must we use that connection to take food back under our control. The most important thing anyone can do is have their voices heard through voting, though it may not seem immediately connected to food. Supporting the people and policies that will advocate for a sustainable agriculture system can be big. Collective action can make it easier for everyone to make this transition. For example, SNAP benefits are now being accepted at farmers market, allowing more low-income families to engage in sustainable practices. And finally, just talk about it. I want us to start having these talks. Research is important, but we need to have these conversations about climate change in a way that is accessible to everyone because it affects everyone. This isn't just the realm of high academia. Ecological literacy is important. Everyone deserves to have the chance to make informed decisions about the future of not only just our food, but also our Earth.